34 is two questions, measures, what are measure central tendency, and then compute the measures and sketch a box plot. So we did that already. There it is. So make sure you follow along. Agenda for today, warm-up number 34, measure central tendency. We're revisiting that from what we started at the beginning of the school year. We're just going to add a couple more things to it. Like I said, throughout the school year, I'm doing what we call spiraling, so like that is, it's not too overbearing, you know what I'm saying? And we just address this as best as we can. All right, so once again, warm-up number 34, measure central tendency, and two problems for your home plate. Copy the code for tonight, K6CMD, K6CMD, K6CMD. And once again, this session is being recorded. So at the end, if you need to revisit, just go to the YouTube channel. Should be in there. And your home plate for tonight is two problems. There they are, but you already have the code. Yes? Yes, Mr. Q. All right, get a Cornell note, please. Ready? Our objective for today, I can summarize and data and compute the measure central tendency. I can summarize data and compute the measure central tendency. We're still in the middle of measures. We're going to see in this chapter, for now that we're starting the second quarter, we're going to be looking at different measures, not only the measure central tendency, but a couple other measures. And you're going to see that a lot of the work that we've been doing so far, we already have all the work done. But today's going to be a day that I'm going to be introducing formulas to you guys. Ooh, let's go. Formulas. One-handed dunk. Let's go. So, with that said, just to recap, what are the measure central tendency? You don't need to copy this. You already have the notes. So basically, they're the most commonly used measures of data when we're looking at data that get everything towards the center of the data. And we addressed them. I gave you guys some numbers. We said that the first one is the mean. You add all the numbers, divide by the given number of numbers, and that's how we find the mean. The median is basically arranging them from least to greatest and going straight to the middle of the data. And we said that if I was to add another number, instead of having one number by itself in the middle, there were two. What do we do to the two numbers? We add them and divide by 2. And the third one is mode, which means the number that occurs more often. In this case was 75. You guys remember that? Yeah? All right. And I said one that people get confused that use part of the measure central tendency but is not, is the range. Have we been looking for the range? Yes. Have we been using the range? Yes. But that is not part of the measures, okay? And you have the notes of this. We're not going to take notes on this again. So once again, how many different measures? 3 of them. And they just shows the data most commonly used. All right. So formulas on your paper. Write this down, please. Now, I've been giving you a lot of processes, and believe it or not, they actually are formulas. But I wanted to make sure that you got all the work under your belt, so like that you know exactly what it is that we do with that formula. So the first formula I'm going to give you is a percentage. So write the formula. Percent equals F over N times 100. Did we do that when we created our pie chart? Yes, Mr. Q. What does the F stand for? Tell your neighbor, please. F stands for what? Yes, frequency. Frequency divided by N. What does N stand for? The total number of numbers, or the total of the sum of whatever the frequency may be. And then times 100. The other one that we did for the pies were degrees. And the formula for that is F of over N times 360. And obviously, the percentage is times 100 because it's out of 100%. And degrees, it's times 360 because we divide the circle into 360 degrees. All right, so far so good, yes? All right. The next formula, R equals, tell your neighbor what R stands for, please. By now they should know. R stands for what, Joseph? Range. Yes, range. So make sure you write that right above it, range. And what do? We take the highest value, subtract it with the lowest value. That's how we find our range. What else did I give you a little formula some time back? W. See if your neighbor remembers what W stands for. Bless you. What does that W stand for? Yes, width. W equals R over number of classes. And once again, remind your neighbor what R stands for one more time. Range. All right, good. So yes, so the width, to compute the width, we're going to revisit that today. We need to take the range divided by the number of classes. All right? Next, one that we've been using a lot on the warm-ups. Tell your neighbor what X bar stands for. What does X bar stand for? X bar. Tell your neighbor what X bar stands for. And see if they know what you mean. Let's see if they know what you mean. Diego. What does X bar stand for? Okay. Yeah, check. All right. And look at the formula. Equals to X sub 1 plus X sub 2 plus X sub 3 dot 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 X sub n divided by n gives us, and remember this symbol? Let's see if your neighbor remembers this symbol right here. Yeah, it's the Greek capital letter of sigma, which stands for sum. Sum of X divided by n. And then copy the one on the right. And tell your neighbor the difference from the one on the left to the one on the right really quick. See if they notice the difference. What is the difference from the one on the left to the one on the right? What's the difference? Bah! Okay, I think we got it. We're going to have Jaden enlighten us. What's the difference from one to the other? All right, let's see. Jaden, what do you notice? The mean look different, yes. So this one, look, guys, this one is what we call mean of sample. Sample. The mean of what? Of a sample. So if that's the mean of a sample, tell your neighbor what this one is. Let's see if they remember. Mean of a sample. This is mean of what? Jaden, pass someone. Yes, mean of, and this one is population. Population. But if you notice, it's pretty much the same process. We're just using different symbols. So when I ask you for the mean of a sample, we're going to use this one. When I ask you for the mean of a population, we're going to use this one. And it's a letter M in Greek. And we say, or we pronounce it mu. Kind of like the cows. Instead of moo, it's mu. All right? Mu, yeah, for population. All right, we go to formulas for right now, yeah? Just FYI, right now we have about 6 of them. We're probably going to get to about 20 of them pretty soon, so just keep that page organized. Thank you, Mr. Q. You're welcome. All right. And as a matter of fact, send me your notes to make sure you took down the notes of your formulas. All right, as soon as you send that in, example Super Q, it says find the mean, median, mode, and range of a data set. So I'm giving you 6, 4, 3, 5, 2, 5, 1, 8. Find me the mean, median, mode, and the range. Shouldn't take you long. Copy that and go. What do you want, like 2 minutes? Yeah? All right, 2.5 minutes. Now, yeah, all right. Good deal. What's the first thing you did, Peyton? What do we do first? Okay, so ascending order, starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 8. Hands, have you got that? Yes? All right. So, let's assume this is a sample. So tell your neighbor which symbol you're going to use for the mean. Sample, mean. Yeah. Sample. What you get for the mean? Pass someone, Peyton. What is it? 4.75. Hands, have you got that? Oh, 2.5. 4.25. Hands, have you got that? That's about right. Mean, median. What'd you get for the median? Pass someone, Mia Victoria. 4.5. How about the mode? What'd you get for the mode? Pass someone. 5. All right. Hands, have you got that? All right. And the range. Pass someone. Who? Clarissa. 7. Hands, have you got that? All right. From 1 to 5, how comfortable are you with this? Yeah, this is Kate, right? We've been practicing this all year, so which is going to move us to the next one. Example number 1. Now, before you copy, let me read this again. Look up to the screen, and it reads, construct a group frequency distribution. Have we been doing that? Do we know how to do that? Yes. Using how many classes? 7. All right. So before we get started, tell your neighbor the very first 2 steps that we need to do before we build our table. What are the first 2 steps? First 2 steps. All right. Clarissa, pass someone so they can get us started with the steps. Illy, first step. The range, that is correct. How about the second step? Pass someone. And the width, that is correct. So, remind your neighbor how to find the range and how to find the width of that data. Do that right now, please. This is example number 1. Example number 1. All right, good conversations. What do I write? Caleb, tell me what you write. Help them out. Kyle. Highest number, which is? Close. Getting closer. 134. And we got 134. Guys, what's the highest one? All right, minus the lowest number. Everyone, what's the lowest number? How much? 100. So my range is 34. All right, so here, how to find the width. How do we find the width? All right. What do I write, Lenny? For the width? Yeah, the range, which is 34, divided by what? By 7. Hands, have you got that? Yes. So 34 divided by 7 is what? Calculators. Natalie, what'd you get? 4.85. And what did we say that we have to round what? Up. So this becomes 5. So our width is 5. Okay? All right. So I just sent you the screen so you can start tallying and such. However, look up to the screen. After we build our distribution table, they want us to find the mean of group data set. I'm going to show you how to do that today. That's what we're adding to our table. So, let's see. Tell your neighbor the first column on our table, please, before they move on to better things. First column in our table. What do we label it? First column is labeled what? Caleb, go. Class limits. Yes. All right, so let's see how we get started. What number do we get started with, Fernando? 100. And then do we go to the right or do we go down? Yes, down, and use the width of 5. So then the next class starts at what? 105. Then we go down, the next class starts at what? 110. Then we go to 115, 120, 125, 130. And is that 7 classes? Yeah, that's 7. So we go to our first class. What's the upper limit for the first class, Diego? 104. How about the second class? Next class? Next class? Next class? Next? And last? All right. What do we label our next column? Tell your neighbor to see if they remember. I know some of you are like, oh, man, it's coming, Mr. Q. Next column. David, what do we label our next column? Class boundaries. That is correct. So we label the next one. Class boundaries. Bless you. Class boundaries. All right. So what do I write for my first class? Tell your neighbor what to write for the first class on the boundaries. First class on the boundaries. What do we write? Oh, okay. I'm like, why is it writing all by itself? All right. What do I write? Areli, first class. 99.5 to 104.5. That is correct. Next class, Illy. Thank you. Next class, Fernando. 114.5. Joseph, next one. 119.5, and so on. And then 119.5 to 124.5, 124.5 to 129.5, 129.5 to 134.5. All right. So far so good, yes? Coming back, yes? All right. Next column. I'm going to change this to a blue. No, let's leave it at black since we already know how to put the symbol of an F in italic. Tell your neighbor what that stands for. All right. And then the next one is something that we did add in the past, but I didn't use the symbol. Here's the symbol. Look up. You're going to do X with a little sub M. Think about it. We did frequency. What was the next column that we had added in the past? What do you think M stands for? What do you think M stands for? Looks like Jaden's got it. Very good, Jaden. So we're going with Caleb. Caleb, what do you think M stands for? The M stands for what? You said midpoint. Midpoint. Yeah, so if you notice on this one, notice that I skipped the column of tallies and I went straight to what? Frequency. Okay? So, with that said, use your screen, start finding out how many numbers of each, and then give me some frequency numbers. I'll give you some time. I'll get you started with the first class from 99.5 to 104.5. Let's see, 99.5 to 104.5. Here's 1. RCIPG. Mm-hmm. Two. Bless you. So for the first class, I have 2. Hands if you got 2. Yes? Okay. So fill in the other classes. I'll wait for you. I'll give you some time. And go. All right, Jaden, next class. How many frequency? What is it? 8. Hands if you got 8. Looks about right. How about the next class from 109.5 to 114.5? What'd you get, Briseida? 18. All right, I'll give you guys a little bit more time. All right, next frequency. Caleb, what'd you get? 12. Hands if you got that. That's about right. For the next class, what'd you get for the next class, Jael? What is it? Oh, okay. Alexia? No? Peyton, next one. After 12. 7. How about the next one? Jaden. 1. And the last one? 1. Man, Jaden's on the ball. Let's go. Woo. What? 12 is wrong? Is 13. Okay, thank you. 13. All right, double check your numbers, yes? All right. So, this one is midpoint for each class. So, midpoint, you can either use the boundaries or the limits. And remind your neighbor how to find the midpoint, please. Remind your neighbor. David, enlighten us. For the first class, how do we find the midpoint? Yeah, add both limits or boundaries and divide by 2. So 100 plus 104 is 204. Divided by 2 is 102. Next one, 105 plus 109 is 214. Divided by 2 is 107. So far so good, yes? Next, 110 and 114, that's 124 divided by 2, that is 112. 115 and 119, that's 134 divided by 2, that's 117. Yeah. 120 and 124, that's 144 divided by 2, that's 122, bless you. 125 and 129, that's 254 divided by 2, that's what, Illy? Very good, 127. 130 plus 134, that's 164 divided by 2, that's 100 and what? 32, yes? All right. So far to right there, I think we've been good with what we did in the past. Here goes the new column. Here goes the new column. And I'm going to label this one in blue because this one's the different one from the rest. Here it goes. Tell your neighbor what we're going to do on that column, please, by the symbols that I just placed above it. Tell your neighbor what we're doing on that column for each class. All right, and then Caleb's going to enlighten us. Tell your neighbor once again, what are we doing on that column? All right, so Caleb's going to give us the first number. What is our first number here, Caleb? $204. Hands, have you got that? That is correct. So your neighbor, once again, how are we getting those numbers according to that title in our column? All right. Next number. Can you give us the next number, Briseida? 856. Once again, do you guys see it? Yes? How are we getting those numbers? Let's see, Jael, how are we getting those numbers? Yeah, multiplying the frequency by the midpoint for each class. That is correct. So the next one is 18 times 112. Calculators calculate. 18 times 112 is what? What is it? 2016? Like this? All right. Next, 13 times 117. 13 times 117. Dylan. 1521. 7 times 122. Natalie, 7 times 122. 854. So far so good, yes? All right. And then 1 times 127 is 127, and 1 times 132 is 132. Okay. All right. Are we there so far? So why did I highlight this one in a different color? Because these are the numbers that we're going to use, look up, for this last part. Find the mean of the grouped data sets. Find the mean of the grouped data set. So, look at these numbers, tell your neighbor what to do with those numbers to find the mean. Find the mean of the grouped data set. Tell your neighbor what we do to find the mean. All right. Looks like Illy's got it. Very good, Illy. Alexia, what do we do? Yeah, so we find the sum first. Find the sum of all these numbers, and then divide by what, everyone? 7, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. So, who's got the sum? Let's see. Fernando, what is the sum? What is it? 5710. Double check his work to make sure we got it. Yes? Divided by 7, 5710 divided by 7. Lenny, what'd you get? 815 point what? 7? Okay. Hands, have you got that? And that is what we call the mean of a data group set. Data group set. Now, how does this help us? Well, it helps us in the sense that we don't have to add all the numbers one by one. How many numbers do we have? I think there's 5 times, how many columns? 10? 50 numbers. So you can go the other way, adding all the numbers and then dividing by 50. And it just takes some time and so on and so forth. And this is going to give us a good approximation. So from 1 to 5, how comfortable are you with the mean of group data? 1 to 5, yeah? Yeah, if you notice, we already did the other process. We're just adding one more column, okay? And once again, does everybody notice that we didn't include the tally column? I mean, you can add it for yourself if you want, but I'm just skipping that step, okay? All right, so send me your notes really quick. And that's how the home play is going to be, okay? I'm going to stop the video at this point. And once again, reminder, your Nearpod code is K6CMD, K6CMD. All right? Enjoy your home play. Bye.